What is up, YouTube, and welcome to episode 29 of the Chaos Daily. So, busy day for me today. I've done all sorts. I'm working on the Long Easy, I'm working on the Chaos Phenom setup series, which is going to be that one I discussed yesterday, a little series of me setting up the resin printer, and that's going well. That video is going to be epic. I'm going to get people commenting saying, how did you get Michael Bay's number, or whatever famous director that does explosions and stuff, and really cool explosion-y movies, because that's what this video looks like. It is epic. But yeah, so can't wait to get that one finished and out to you guys. Still got a couple more days work on that one. Probably have it mostly done tomorrow and day after that. So we'll probably premiere it on the live stream day, maybe. Yeah, by the way, live stream, if you didn't know already, live streaming on the 31st. I am reminding you, live streaming on the 31st. So yeah, let's get into it. I had to make some changes. Simon has pre-ordered yet another one of my planes. Thank you so much, Simon. I really do appreciate that. So I sent him one of the sections of the files for him to print because he wanted to test out the built-in support infill that I designed into it. That sort of worked on one printer, didn't work on another printer. I don't know, I'm not sure what the issue is. I think it's just a layer. At what point the slicer is slicing the layer for that printer, and that printer might have a slightly different layer height, like minute different. I mean, we're talking about a 0.2 millimeter gap that is needed between the two pieces, so that it's just enough of a gap that it can be pulled out, but not enough of a gap so that it sticks to the bit below it and the bit above it. So it's a bit tricky to fine tune that. So I'll talk with him more on that. But we discovered a couple of other issues, and I've updated that and changed that, as well as done a whole bunch of other stuff. So straight into the time lapse, and then I'll see you on the other side to explain what I've done, because at the end of the time lapse, I went on and did a whole bunch of other little bits and pieces that I didn't record because it's fiddly going back and forth stuff. So I will go over those changes at the other end of the video. So I'll see you there.
Time is over before you know you're older. So sober, alone, but you getting my cold shoulder. You crying like it's rain, you causing all the pain. No closure, I'm colder. You getting nothing, Joker.
Get down.
Before you know you're older, you getting my cold shoulder. No closure, I'm colder. You getting nothing, Joker. Clock's ticking, time is over. Before you know you're older, so sober, alone. You getting my cold shoulder. You crying like it's rain. You causing all the pain. No closure, I'm colder. You getting nothing, Joker. Joker. Time is over before you know you're older. So sober, alone, you getting my cold shoulder. You crying like it's rain. You causing all the pain. No closure, I'm colder. You getting nothing, Joker.
Get down.
So there you go, super short time lapse for you guys. Like I said, I've been working on the printer setup series, which is just going to be amazing. Like, oh, you'll have to wait and see. Like, epic does not even begin to describe it. So let's jump into it better and go over some of the changes that I've made and see where we're going to go from here, because we're pretty close. We've also done the wing roots. I forgot to mention the wing roots are done. You saw it in the thing. It's done. So let's have a look. Let's start with the wing roots, because I did some cool stuff there. So this piece that I've modeled up here, this gets printed in 2 sections that are split in the middle here. Now what this is, I have these 5mm Kevlar carbon rods. Now the idea is that you print these two. They have this cylinder and the taper. So it's also got the angle for the dihedral of the wing. So when you print this, you print it on this flat face here at the bottom on this square bit. And it prints sort of on a lean, so I'm gonna I probably might rename these to the leaning towers, because they have a bit of a lean to them. But the trick is that the hole that's through them is perfectly vertical. Going back to the assembly file, when you have 2 of them lined up like this, there's a straight shot between the 2 of them. So what this does is that I can take one of these carbon fiber Kevlar, it's a 5mm rod. It's solid. There's nothing in it. These things you can't break. I don't know if you can order these. These would be expensive. These are those things my mum brings home for me. I'm going to use these. You can just use a regular 5mm carbon fiber rod or a tube. But the idea is that when you print those 2, you put this rod through the 2 of them and you glue the whole up. The whole assembly all is one together. Now, I don't think you'd print these at 100% infill. You'd probably print them lower so you can save some weight. But the idea is then you take that tube, goes into the hole of the carbon fiber square tube, so that it holds the carbon fiber square tube at the correct angle for the dihedral and connects the 2 together solid, so that there's no, they can't just snap. So this prevents the wings from folding. You will not fold the wings with this. You'll tear through the side wall of this carbon fiber before you fold the wings on this plane. That's what that is. I don't know if I'm over-engineering here, like this is too much, or I think this is a great idea. Terribly over-engineered idea, but it's a great idea. It's just going to stop the wings from folding. To supplement this, because I'm so paranoid about folding wings on a 3D printed plane, I've included another one that goes through here. So this will be more of like a register pin. So when you slot the wings on, these ones at the back, they just stop the wings from twisting. So that's what those are there for. So the roots are done. But now, here's for the really fun part. I've made these channels for the servo wires, and they pop out here. Now I need to fix that because this is in the way. But if I switch to a section view, you can see here how this channel comes in and drops down the middle into where the battery compartment is. So you can run your servo wire through your wing and stuff it in there. And you can probably just have it come out here and then have the plug end sticking out here, or the extension plug. So yeah, that came out quite nice. I just have to come in and adjust where this feature ends, because I changed this piece here in the middle. This is sort of like the keel in between the wings to really give it some structure. It's a pretty thick piece of plastic, but I need to just change this feature to come all the way down. Moving on, other things that I've changed that you've probably already noticed. All of the wings, the internal structure, the spiral pattern that I used, the helix that I used for this, I had to change it. This is one of the things that Simon had trouble with printing. Now I'd thought about it. When I exported this as an STL, I opened it up in Cura and had a look at what it looked like. I could do this with all my parts before I send it to Simon, just to double check so I'm not wasting his time and wasting his resources. And I looked at it and I was like, it should be okay. It'll be touch and go. And what I mean by that is, so looking here in Cura, if you zoom in, you see here, this is the old pattern where it's a lot more like this. I think the scientific terminology is it's a bit overhangy. It's a bit too much overhang. So if you look in here and you look at how each layer prints this wall, it sort of prints the outside wall, then comes in, around, and then back in again. So this doesn't quite work. It does in some places where you get some better overlap, but it depends on how you're looking at it with the camera. And I've obviously been looking at it like straight on. If you look at it straight on, you see there's plenty of overlap, but it's not much. So I came in here and I looked at this and I was like, it's touch and go. It should work. It might work, and it kind of worked on one of his prints. The other one, it didn't work so well. So that's one of the other things I've changed, and I haven't really touched the infill settings here for this custom infill profile because it kind of worked. So we'll see. I'm not sure what caused it to fail on the other one because I haven't been able to look at the photos and determine that. I need to have a long chat with Simon to figure out what actually went wrong so that I can make the correct decision on how to fix it. He says it seems to be okay. So that's the reason why I've changed this spiral pattern, and I've also increased the number of blades in the spiral so that it creates a more densely packed matrix. This is going to increase the weight, unfortunately, but you know, I think it really needed it, honestly, because I was running super lean before. If I'm being honest, I was running really lean with the structure before. It's a bit better now. I still haven't figured out a decent way to create these register tabs around the seams for each of the sections. I'm probably going to say screw it, print it as is, and see how well it glues together, or I might create a channel or a set of rings or like ringlets or loops that are attached to the surface on either side that you can run a 1mm or a 2mm carbon fiber, probably a 1.5mm carbon fiber spar that runs the length, and you just sort of thread them onto the spar and it lines them up, and then you glue all the pieces together, and then you can tack the spar on those ringlets with some CA glue or something, and that should work all right. But otherwise, yeah, it's looking good. So next up is the wings. I'll be exporting the files of this in this section and sending them to Simon so that he can start test printing the nose and this section and see how well the two join together and how well the changes to the internal structure have improved the print quality. So yeah, there's some other like interesting weirdness happening with like the outer skin. He's using the same profile that he uses for his other 3D printed planes, and they don't have the issue, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It's probably some just weird setting that he's clicked or hasn't clicked, or like it's just, or something in the STL file data of the way that I export, because when I export, you can see here, this is the midsection fuselage. So when I export, one of the things that I do is in here in options, I set this resolution to high. This prevents any round surfaces or any circles from then becoming faceted and ended up being like hexagons in some cases, depending on how your resolution setting is. But this just ensures that you get accurate fidelity on any of the curved surfaces or any of the fine details. So like I always export on the higher settings, so that could be it, something in the binary file of the STL that is causing this weird issue. I will have to look into it, but we'll find out. So yeah, I'll be exporting this again and sending it off to Simon for him to reprint and see how well it goes. So there you have it. This is gonna be a short daily today because, like I said, I've been really busy with getting this other episode together, so I haven't had as much time to work on the Albatross, but I did get quite a bit done. It's starting to look a lot more refined, ready to go. Like I'm super excited. Like it's not going to take much longer for me to get the printer up and running, and I'm going to start printing my own parts. I'm going to slap this motor on the thing, and I'm going to take it to the park, and I'm going to fly the crap out of it, because I haven't flown an RC plane in so very, very long. All my DLGs and gliders are sitting there in the cupboard untouched for years. So I'm super excited. And on that note, that'll do it for today's episode. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button already. Go subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell. There's a link for my Patreon down below. Go check it out if you can. That'd be super awesome. So I've been Chaos, and as always, expect the unexpected. And I will see you guys next time. And a special thank you to all my patrons that help support the channel. If you would also like to support the channel, there's a link in the description.